already know what it is, man. It is the quote-unquote go-home edition of Flow Show, man. We got the big pay-per-view all out this weekend, so we had to bless y'all with hot takes and predictions. But first, you already know what it is. For the love of wrestling, Quincy Jones go. The wave god in the building himself, Mac Lowe, man. Still awaiting the third of the Fresh Triangle, Brian Andrew, man. But let's get into it, bro. How you been, first of all?
And I'm good. You said wave god, and there's like a little spot right there where shit. I'm like, oh no, am I going bald in the front?
But it ain't like Jinder Mahal's like that. He got that one just patch. That's just he got full beard, and then just like a quarter. Like someone just hit him with like a hot quarter for some reason. It's just black. I don't know. It's weird.
It's to grow.
Man. But I figured we start off. I don't think I can clear the sample, but I will change the title of the episode to this. They shooting. It made us look. It made us look. Charlotte and Nia Jax, bro. So everyone's been going back and forth whether or not this was a shoot, because obviously, like everyone has their own. Oh, here we go. We got Mr. Andrew coming into making this a triple threat, cashing in the Money in the Bank.
Hey, I recorded the match, like part of it. And I was literally just watching it like an analyst,
like dissecting, like, oh, this is where shit went wrong. This is she wasn't taking that. Bro, it was. Let's wait for Brian to jump in before we get. That's why when I seen my homie sent me some footage. I'm like, yo, hold on, it ain't aired over here, but I know that I'm gonna actually watch Raw. I'm actually gonna tune in and check this out. So, but yeah, man, there was a lot of people going back and forth on it. Dude, they was duking it. They was duking out.
Yes, they were. And I think I know what happened. I think I know what happened from my analytics.
Oh, got some picture. Oh, hey, there he is. Hey.
I had some technical difficulties. I could not get in for the life of me.
AKA partied a little bit too hard with the unofficial mascot. It was Lucy Hammond's birthday yesterday.
Oh yeah. We got
happy belated. You party hard when you party with the GOAT. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. But you haven't missed anything. We literally just got into it. We actually, first topic I brought up, I figured we get right into it. They shooting. They made us look. Nia Jax and Charlotte Flair.
You mean the most important topic of the week?
Like I told him, I'm like, a friend showed me the footage. That's why I hit y'all up. I'm like, it hasn't aired in California time yet, so I can't wait to watch Raw for once. Like I was like, what just happened? But yeah, Mac, he said he was actually watching. He recorded it, was trying to like break it down like analyst wise. You know what I mean? Because it's like there was a few different ways. Yeah, he used to see, and the thing is, like, I was even telling my brother about this, and he heard about it, but I actually showed him. He's like, "Oh shit!" Like, yeah, like what people are saying don't do it justice. But I was telling y'all, I felt like this is what I feel like kind of happened. I don't know if you guys watched a little bit before where Nia had the whole "I'm gonna squash everybody," like I'm a slaughter everybody. I forgot what the hell she said. And then like it was a match between Rhea and Shayna,
right?
And I don't know if you seen when she ran, like, okay, like she ran and knocked over Nikki. Fair enough. Wasn't too bad. But I felt like with the way she picked her up and threw her right in that barricade, I was like, yo, that was kind of, yeah, like you didn't give her no room. That was just, oh, you like, bitch, And then like, even like after Rhea got the pin on Shayna and the way she just rushed in and clotheslined her, I'm like, yo, you didn't even give her no room to
because
turn around.
She was still in her turn, and then she got caught.
I was like, damn, between her and the ropes, I'm like, they ain't no cushion, like, you know what I mean? So that I was thinking like between that and then what happened where she had a match with Charlotte, I'm like, I feel like Charlotte like got in her face backstage and was like, what the fuck was that? It was probably getting into it with her about being unsafe, and they probably had even if that's not the reason, I feel like they still had some sort of words before they got out.
There's definitely, if you look at the way they walked out, they both had this mug on.
No, Nia had a boo-boo face for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, I'm a heel. It was like, I just got in an argument, or I just got in trouble, or I'm hot. I got attitude.
I'm hot,
they both had an attitude. Like,
yeah.
So it was weird when after knowing what happened, you go back and look. It's like, oh nah, there was a little bit of something there, and then there was a sequence where, remember the Rocky had that move where he dropped you on the shoulder.
Oh yeah, the shoulder breaker. Bro.
Yeah, I used to hate that on No Mercy because I thought it was a power driver, and then it would hit the shoulder, and I would be like, what?
Like so it's like a psych.
So like, but anyway,
Rocky won the Survivor Series with this.
So anyway, Nia was about to do that.
Yeah.
And she did it, but then she didn't lean her forward so that she would flat back. She
like kind of protect her on the way. Yeah, she just kind of let her just drop.
And Charlotte went face first, and then her legs kind of came over. And I think she probably was like, what the hell? Because,
bro, like, I mean, Charlotte's great. You know what I mean? As far as me being like her biggest fan, I won't say that. I mean, but I give her props. Like, she's definitely one of the top tier, athletes and what they got as far as representative of their women's division. But at the end of the day, she's the world champ. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. Like, it could have been Nikki Ash that was. I would have been like, and I'm just as indifferent with Nikki Ash. I'm like, whatever. But if she's the champ at the moment, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I mean,
at the very least, you got to protect your partners.
I mean, that and just overall, like, your argument don't mean shit compared to the business, like, end of everything. Stabbing. I mean, y'all going into a pay-per-view. Y'all got Extreme Rules coming up. It was weird, but like that sequence, I think, definitely was the starter because there was some miscommunication after a while.
Because Charlotte went for the right after that, she kissed the ropes. Nia ends up seated, and she goes to big booter. Yeah, and the boot doesn't connect at all, but Charlotte's big boot.
See, and everyone was like, "Oh, she booted her for real." I'm like, "Nah, she hardly got
it was air." Believe me, I watched it 40 times.
Yeah.
But
I've been zoned in.
But it is the best thing on WWE.
But after
right now, main roster.
Nia just got up. She just stood up like, oh, you didn't actually hit me. She just stood up like, and I think that's when Charlotte was like, I don't care if I whiffed it or not, like sell it. So Nia stands up and Charlotte tries to put her in the headlock, but at this point, it's real life. Nia is way bigger than you. So
I was waiting to hear what the greatest critic of all was going to say about this Cornette, because I wanted, because he watched it play by play. He kept hearing about it, so he's like, fuck it, we'll just watch it right now and see what's going on. So he said when she tried to pull that headlock, that was her in a professional tone, like, hey, let's get our shit together and figure out what the fuck we doing. Like, what the fuck are we doing? But she wouldn't give her the headlock. No. So she's like, I don't want to talk to you. And it was like, shit. And he's like, that's when it kind of went downhill because nobody wanted. She was, because that's how I felt. I felt like Charlotte was trying her best to still be professional.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she wasn't she was getting some, like, Nia was making her look kind of, you know what I mean? She was getting some shit off and she was just like, all right, I'm going to be professional. But when I ain't gonna let you some shit slide, like, because there's that where she just kept brushing her on the floor. I was like, yo,
that slam at the end was extra stiff too.
Yeah, dude, it was like, I don't know if it was like Charlotte was dazed, or she was like, I'm gonna just fucking.
I'll just eat the pin.
But it felt like Charlotte wasn't trying to participate with the move at all. So she was just like, all right, bitch, I'm just gonna slam you then. You know what I mean? That's what it looked like. Like, because it looked like I don't want to say it, but I hate to go in this bag, but remember when Kairi Sane had that tag match with the Kabuki Warriors versus Charlotte, and then she got concussed, and Charlotte tried to pick her up in the powerbomb, but she just couldn't because she was just like, she didn't even know how to participate. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I kind of felt like she was like, all right, I'm just gonna sandbag you. You know what I mean? Kind of thing was like, fuck you then, because like, dude.
And then Nia was like, girl, I live 380.
Bruh, shit. It was not even the fact that she was like, don't. And it was like, because my brother was like, well, why is she saying don't and throwing a punch? I'm like, no, she ain't saying don't, like, don't hit me. She's saying don't because I'm fitting to hit you. Yeah. So I was like, it was crazy. It was crazy enough that they even still showed it.
Why did Charlotte slap her? And then when Nia was like, Nia swung on her once, and then Charlotte acted like she was gonna swing, and she was like, "Wait, no, you know what? I don't want to do this."
Yep. She was like, "Wait, I just got my dad, and you got a whole Samoan family. I don't want to go to war with y'all like that."
Charlotte was like, "This face costs way too much. You're not gonna Becky Lynch me."
No, dude, imagine if she lucky she ain't Tongan. She probably would just bit her nose off in the middle of the ring. On some hockey shit, bro.
So this isn't Nia's first time being shitty in the ring.
See, that's what's crazy though, because I was thinking about like you low key almost killed Kairi Sane.
2 times.
You like had her leaking legitimately, and you still have a job. And that's not me just hating on it. Because when Nia was in NXT, I really liked what they were doing. I thought it was cool because it was like, I don't want to say like their version of an Awesome Kong, but there's only been one Awesome Kong. You haven't really seen that prototype, so to speak, in the women's division, like that monster, like that King Kong Bundy, that Big Show type deal. Like you haven't seen it. So I thought it was definitely an attraction, and they were taking her time with her. Then they shot her up to the main roster. I'm like, yo, she ain't ready. Like she barely getting her, her shit in, barely getting into her own in NXT and actually getting over. And as a character too, like character work always important. Her as a big woman or big man, that part is easy for them because they don't got to do much. Just sell that they big women or big men. But the character work, I thought it was good. But yeah, as soon as she went the main route, I was like, yo, I don't think she's ready. And then it's like,
is that story true with in the Kairi match where
she like threw her into the steps
and then Kairi was like, Becky, help me. Like, because
for real?
I read somewhere.
You're talking about the tag match. So
she was taking all the bumps,
bro. You seen when she got like loopy, bro, and then like if you notice, she like Becky checked in on her and like real subtle, she just rolls her under the ring.
Yeah,
I was like, she was like, hey, we're just gonna get
you
the.
I forgot what I was listening to. They were saying that in that same sequence there was a moment where Charlotte slapped Kairi.
Yeah, because she didn't know.
And then she realized, she's out of it. Like
she's like, and I probably fucked it up.
Yeah. So I think when Charlotte is in a match and you're not participating the way you need to, that's her thing. Right? Yeah. It's like wake up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she tried to wake Nia up.
No, okay. I felt the reason why she hit the slap because she was like, okay, we're on TV. I'm still a wrestler. I can't like shoot punch her because she's feeling like she's gonna get more in trouble. So she's like, maybe I'll just hit her with a wake up, like, hey, get the fuck in the game kind of smack.
And Nia was like, I don't care about none of that.
None of it. Because she was like, I ain't got no push anyway. I know I'm going over tonight. I mean, what do you think about it? Like, if you know you're going over, you're like, fuck it. I'm bigger than you. What you finna do?
So what you finna do? Her punches were so slow. They were like,
bruh,
like, when they did the whole Charlotte,
and Charlotte probably didn't realize it was happening. She's like, "Oh, these are shoot punches." Oh shit, they're not.
Because she's like, but that's the thing I thought was fucked up because she probably doesn't because she's already trained mentally to have someone trust, her with her body and take these working punches. So she's thinking, maybe she's finally just trying. Nope, bam. Okay, hold on. Let me grab hair. Let's grab hair and just. What the fuck are we doing? Why are you hitting me? The ref, you seen the ref even getting in there like it was like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
Hey, this isn't.
Bro, you even see him go to his back pocket, which is where the receiver's at, and he's just like, man, fuck. He's
like, these two ladies are about to get me fired somehow.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the one to blame. Like I'm gonna stop Nia by myself. Like she ain't gonna freaking pop me like that. Like she wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like she wouldn't pop him like that. Like.
Do you think she gets away with all this stuff because she's related to the lineage? Rock? Yeah,
I don't know. I think because I don't know.
Maybe how far does that really matter?
The thing is, I don't think it's so much that anymore because it's happened so much. But came in recommended highly by The Rock. You know what I mean? He's kind of helped carve a way for her to walk in, and I mean, but she's done it without having any of the, like the Roman spot with us, The Rock raising my hand at that. Because she's kind of done it without really mingling or coexisting with.
Because if she hurts Charlotte, she's legitimately, and even like for example the Becky Lynch thing, and
I was
the Becky Lynch thing. The Becky Lynch thing took over, and it was become a really cool moment for Becky. And you ended up doing Ronda versus Charlotte at Survivor Series, so I'm sure it was fine. But Nia Jax is always like one move away from costing the company a lot of money.
That's where I'm not the biggest Go Charlotte fan. I give her flowers. I appreciate what she does and what she brings out of people and what she brings to the table. And again, because she's champion, it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're punching her in the fucking face. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what if you concuss her or break her face? But I guess she could always use this in a promo and say like her face is tougher than big time Bex. Since
tougher than bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man.
It was reinforced.
It was surgically.
My
they
face
went in there, and just,
my face is tougher than bad booking.
Oh man, that's pretty tough. But you know what got me is when she threw that knife edge chop hard as shit. Like Max said, not a titty bounce. She just her whole body just said no sell.
No, you know how when you hit the block button on No Mercy, another No Mercy reference, you just like,
yeah. Where it was just like it was just like, really, I don't give a fuck about any of that.
You just block a chop with your chest.
She said her titties played. They played like. Nah, there was like 300 in there. We ain't finna move, bro. You ain't. We got.
And the way she looked at her, like, and that's so. I can understand how frustrating that is. It's like we're supposed to be playing along with each other. You're not giving me anything.
It's like, Mom, she's not doing what we talked about. And
it's weird in these moments because we kind of look at Vince, even though the WWE product's far from perfect, but we kind of look at him as like he's a perfectionist. That's why he tears up scripts and blah blah blah. It's interesting that something like this,
insane.
Something like this happens, and either one, he's probably we're getting a lot of press on this. This is
good. We can capitalize on the.
But
press.
B, he's got to be really frustrated that this happened at all. And this is potentially their title match going into Extreme Rules.
I was thinking that as well.
So like, he's really, I'm sure he was backstage with both of them. Like, hey, you guys got to fucking figure your shit out. Or because like this to any other wrestler, I feel like, because I think he likes Nia and Charlotte. This one has just taken him out entirely of the picture. They might not even be on TV for months if this was, I feel like, anybody else in the division. Like Becky, Nia, Charlotte, they kind of had a little, he's probably cool with them, but like if like I don't know, Ruby Riott did this way back in the day, you know, Ruby Riott would have been
no dude, like anyone else would have been, like if it's like Raquel Gonzalez, you know what I mean, like you know what I mean, it was anyone now, I think anyone else besides Nia, I think would be shit canned or at least close, like to just be.
I was like trying to think of other women in the division. I was like,
you're like, who else could even? Not one of them. Neither of them.
And then I had to throw out someone who's been released for like 2 months. Ruby Riott.
I said Zelina. She just came back. Like,
you're like, man,
I don't know.
Who is Natalia? That's one.
Check Wikipedia.
But like, how about if it wasn't Natalia, who does also have a lineage?
Yeah, Natalia would probably get a pass, but I don't think Tamina would.
No,
I don't know. I mean, someone would have to go and talk to her. And nobody mean it.
Tamina is probably the most frustrating wrestler because she's like a master of none, right? She's kind of a high flyer. She's kind of got that bigger wrestler look.
Yeah,
she's strong, but like
she's a mid-air flyer.
But she's that second rope flyer. but it's like
it's falling with style.
But she's not good at everything. Like she's not good at one thing at least, you know. But
well, I don't know. She throws a hell of a super kick. I mean, I think that's kind of what. I mean, that's part of being Simone, though, right?
She's probably the best at delivering a boring promo, though. Like,
well, do you guys remember that one time when they had all the women in I think it was the Money in the Bank, and they were all trying to do a promo. And then she forgot her line, so she just repeated the same thing. I don't want to shit on her, but it was just so hilarious. Like I was like, wait,
you're over here taking photos while we're working on our craft. I was like, all right. why the fuck are you practicing during the show, dude?
Like, why are you practicing back here? Like, why are you?
Had to make sure the camera saw us.
Why are you chain wrestling in the back?
Why are you practicing in that makeshift ring that they made for interviews?
But remember they were trying to do that tit for tat. What was it with Mandy and Dana?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they had Mandy and Dana. All of a sudden they serious about their craft. It was just like, hold on. Then why do you need to go back to NXT? What is going on?
I saw a thing from Mandy this week, and I was like, "Oh yeah, where's she going?" And then I was like, "Oh, she's still in the company. I forgot she's in NXT." I honestly thought she was released.
Well, you know what?
She's down there with fake Becky and Ruby Riot's little sister.
So okay, look, I'll give you the Becky Lynch, but the Ruby Riot one, I got to go up the back. Shout out because I know her from the Indies, so. It wasn't always Gigi Dolan. Yeah. No, someone said it was Becky and Paige is what they said it was. They were like, oh, what they said? They said, I forgot what they said of Lynch. They called her something else, and they were like, and Sheet. I'm like, wait, Sheet as in like Paige? And I was like, as in like a low key, as a low rent Paige. I was like, damn.
They look cool. They look cool together, but they don't match Mandy. So I didn't get it. Like,
I mean, it's just one of those
Mandy
things.
Walks out.
Is this Absolution too? I mean, what are we doing?
But even
because Paige and her and Sonya didn't really have nothing to do with each other either. When they became, they just like, oh, I'm managing.
It's like the inverse. It's like the reverse because they're so dark,
opposite attract type thing.
Joker, dark. Like they should have came out with and been Rhea Ripley's cronies.
I don't know what they're doing with Rhea Ripley. She was a heel, but now she's like, Nikki ain't bad. I don't know, but I did want to holler at y'all because speaking of NXT, there's been a lot of reports about what's really going on with Vince and the whole. I mean, who's taking control? I mean, dude, there's been so many reports from people that are actual, like Mike Johnson from PW Insider, even like Bleacher Report. They've all been like incorrectly getting this shit wrong. Like people have been saying that Triple H is getting 100% shut out. People have saying like, no, Sean and who's it? Sean, Triple H, Albert or Matt Bloom and Regal are still going to be overseeing the day by day. And they're going to be on the, what they say, the smaller decisions, and Vince and Pritchard are only going to be there for the bigger decisions. I also heard word that Jamie Noble's kind of like a point man, like between the two when they're not always there. Where like he's supposed to be, I guess he's going to be at the PC. He's been seen at the PC quite a bit more often. So I'm guessing there's some truth to that. But I don't know. Like I said, I've been hearing Triple H, is totally out of his hands, that he's still going to be, having his hands on stuff. But there's certain things that will have quote unquote Vince and Pritchard's fingerprints on it.
Did you hear that
weird.
one report?
What was that one?
From the Flow show from Brian. NXT's gonna absolutely fucking suck.
I mean, it's funny because the quote going around is it's gonna be like the old NXT, and everyone's like, "What? Like when it was a fucking game show?" I was
like there's nothing left that makes me go, "This is gonna be good." They lost their best superstar in NXT. I'm hearing rumors that they might get rid of Gargano or Ciampa or the old guard of NXT. That's never going to move up.
There was another report that there are some quote unquote big names NXT wise that are actually possibly in the chopping block because of all this stuff going on. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like
it still has to be enjoyable. It's still a money make. Like, okay, I know they were losing money on it before they went on the USA Network, and they still might be losing money on it, but it still made money. Whereas like now it's just going to lose money in general and never even make a fraction of that back. Like no one's going to want to go. Like, is NXT not going to tour anymore once we open up officially? Like, what's the plan here?
They got a new arena.
Yeah, I was gonna say I actually put the picture up in the chat if you guys could click on it. I don't know if you guys can take a look, but yeah, let me see if it'll actually show.
It looks like
it looks like kind of like a TV show, kind of bowl type of audience.
And it reminds me of which Underground.
It's let me see if I could.
Is it the one that's in the little video package that they do and they hint at it, or is there an actual photo of the new thing?
No, it definitely has the colors.
The new color scheme, right? Yeah, it looked like they just like someone said, "Hey, do we have the old the very first AEW Dynamite aesthetic We can just actually light the fuse for sure, and just whatever the colors run.
They were like, do you guys remember Hanging with Mr. Cooper? Man. We want the colors to float all across the screen. Like that.
Now that I think about it, it reminds me of like it was like they just did a gender reveal. That's all they.
I need to see if,
bath salts.
If I could edit it with the Reading Rainbow song.
Right.
Like over
but also the DMX version.
Yeah. What?
Sophomore dude. Oh man. I'm trying to see. Oh, okay. I think I have a picture of it right here. If I don't see what it'll show.
Yeah, it's
kind of weird.
But do we need that?
I mean, when I saw it, I was like, I just hope they're actual chairs and that's not all LED boards of people's faces again. You know what I mean?
I was concerned about it when I first saw that. I was like,
it looks like a new game show set. Like it kind of looks like.
Are they gonna do the Thunderdome there? Or
that's what I was thinking. Like I was like,
we have all this shit, might as well use it.
We're like, we got all this shit in storage. We don't need it. You know, speaking of shit in storage and they don't need it. Did you hear that? I guess. Triple H was trying to expand in NXT Japan that has officially dissolved, which I mean, I don't think it ever really started so much, but I mean, obviously they need the money. they're trying to stack. Obviously there's something going on.
I don't know, man. I'm not really worried about it.
Do you feel when all this is settled and WWE officially sucks, we're gonna be more upset with Vince, or we're gonna be more upset with like Nick Khan? Like, I think the casual fan will probably be more upset with Vince, but I feel like
that's a good question. Like, the thing with Nick Khan is I don't disagree with everything he's saying. It's just, I guess, the execution kind of. I'm like, okay, I guess it doesn't differ from what he's saying, but maybe my vision and his vision of what he's looking at is totally different. You know what I mean?
Right. Because my
thing to try, to cut costs. It's not.
Right.
Especially if that's his job, if that's why he was brought in. But it's like, I can't really blame him. I mean, it's really Vince who's the one saying who's getting the cut. It's not Nick Khan saying. He's just saying y'all got to make up for this much. I'll leave that up to you. And it's Vince that's the one that's really cutting a lot of these guys that we're otherwise thinking have way more to offer. Or I mean, who knows? Maybe they'd re-sign for less and whatever the situation.
My stance is like, if you're like, let's just say you're a coach of a professional sports team, right? You're looking for talent. Not everyone's perfect, but you're looking for things that everyone could do well to make your team better. And if you're given a star talent or someone who's got a lot of talent, you figure out a way to make it work in your system, right? You don't be like, you know what, I don't want this guy. Now, there's chance that there is teams that do that eventually, but you are eventually trying to bring somebody back in. But the thing is, the WWE is just releasing people and not bringing people back in. So you're basically left with what you got.
At least we haven't seen it yet, right? I mean, that's what I mean. Like I said, I thought that may have been the idea for Bray, but
so for example, like if you have this vision that eventually WWE will be more just big guys and larger than life people, then eventually you go reach out and get those guys, but you have them in development, right? But while you're in development, it's not like the WWE could afford to have like a rebuild process. Like you should have, when you have all these guys, if you don't like them, let their contracts run out, but utilize their skills while you're there. Like some of these guys, and then maybe you'll find a gem in somebody and you're like, true. We don't want to let that guy go. If you have a guy who's a good in-ring worker, and you don't like his promo skills, then let him just go work in the ring and have the opening match on SmackDown, light it up, and then he goes in the back, and then eventually you're like, oh, fans actually like when that guy opens up the show or something, it's just frustrating me that they had all these guys, and then now AEW is just like, oh, fine, I'll take them.
No, it's because it's like kind of insane to think that I mean, from a money standpoint, it makes sense with the amount of names and who they named, because they were a little bit more closer to like that cutoff point of like, oh, these are guys that were getting actual consistent TV time and booking and pushing, and then you look, you're like, it's insane to think that you couldn't find a use for one of these people. You know what I mean? And then it's like, that's why from us as fans, it's like, wow, you're letting these guys just slip through your fingers. Like, this is crazy. And then it's like, of course, there's that other side of the line that's like, oh, all they do is sign WWE guys. And it's like, they think that WWE's doing it on purpose. Like, oh, we're just gonna give away our shitty guys. I'm like, you guys, if that's what you guys think, then you guys have no idea, what kind of talent they're throwing away. But
and we said this on the podcast before. Like, what's AEW gonna do? Not try to bring in a great quality wrestler in? Like, yeah, especially it's getting a little oversaturated, but
exactly.
What are you gonna do? Not sign him because you don't have the room?
Bro, like, if they get Adam Cole.
Yeah, I found the actual quote. Yeah, it says Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard were at the recent set of tapings. However, producer Jamie Noble has been said to be around the PC much more often than usual. Talent has, however, been told that Bruce Pritchard will be at the PC this weekend. Not all talent has been mandated to be there for that, which is interesting. But
there's another thought process in this, and I'm going to be a little bit. I can see it from Vince's eyes right now. Is if NXT is not necessarily making us money,
or making us, I see that's the thing too, though.
Right?
You can argue they're not making us stars, but that's a little bit on him, is it not?
Right. Well, okay. So let's just say Vince is like, hey, for the last 2 or 3 years, I'm not feeling anybody you're bringing in. Everyone's getting upset that I can't make a new star, but I don't like anyone you're bringing up, right? So I could see him being like, you know what? It's not like NXT's making us money. Why don't we just make NXT in my image now, and then I'll eventually bring these people up, and I'll be more, because like now we're getting the vibe, he feels
like he's more hands-on. He can see,
right?
He can actually have a hand in forming some of these people that he will like.
Because
so he feels like it's just been a waste of time, right? Like, yeah.
The thing is, I'm sure like having a takeover on WrestleMania weekend made them money. You know what I mean? So it's not like, I don't know if NXT, but probably yearly they probably weren't bringing WWE in a lot of money. But I could see Vince and Nick saying like NXT doesn't make us any money, so you know what, we'll just have it in our image and bring in the guys we want to bring in, which I kind of understand.
Spend the amount of money we want to spend on it.
Right.
Yeah, true.
I kind of understand that, but the thing is, like, what I don't think Vince realizes is his product sucks, and NXT was the best thing he had.
That was for a lot of people what they were hanging on to, yeah.
And what happened a lot was these people, some fans were getting invested in these NXT characters with the idea that they'll be on the main roster. And if you booked some of these guys correctly, instead of putting them in like a gimp suit, you would maybe see some fans that are just into NXT realizing, well, maybe the main roster could be NXT light because all my favorite guys are going up there. And then you're bringing fans back into watching the main roster more full time. Because I know there's quite a few fans that don't watch the main roster, but watched NXT.
See, it's possible, but I think with this news and this flurry of everyone kind of like running around with chickens with their heads cut off over this news that, again, Triple H is losing control. Vince McMahon's taking over, and then not knowing what's going on. I feel like news of Vince even having a hand on it, that's making a lot of people who've already jumped ship. It's pretty crazy. I don't know. But I will say, I know one thing you guys are excited for. Lana's 90-day contract or compete clause is up, so that's what I was looking for. That's what I needed right there. But Bronson Reed's actually his 30 days up the day after All Out, which I also thought was interesting as well.
So he can wrestle in dark, because I feel like there's no room.
The thing is with Bronson Reed, I thought it was just like a total, like I was like, that wasn't one of the ones that we were talking about earlier with the releases. Like, dude, what the fuck? But when I looked more into it, they did not like what they saw. They pretty much were like, well, if we don't like what he's doing on the main event, why should we even keep him in the company? And that's why they're like, yeah, we don't want you, so bye. That's more or less. So I understand why Bronson was so quick to tag all those other companies in his first tweet, because I remember everyone was giving him shit for that. Like, oh, that's what you do when they gave you an opportunity. The first thing you do when you get released is say kind of fuck you and tag all these other companies. But it makes sense. I mean, when you're told like, yeah, we have no use for you. Wait,
it's not like the WWE is like, hey, we'll take care of you for a year after you get released. Like, you need to go find another job. And keep in mind, like,
and don't think you can work for 30 days.
And in Bronson Reed's, and I apologize if I'm so out of the loop on this subject. Doesn't he need to find a job quickly so he could like keep his work visa and all that?
It depends. I don't know if he actually lives in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of these guys, that's the case unless they actually move and take up what they call I forgot what it's called, residency in Florida to be closer to everything. But I have heard like because obviously I think was he from New Zealand?
Yeah, he's New Zealand or Australian. One of those.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. I don't think he's ever had any travel issues where he wasn't able to show up for a show. So I don't think he lives there primarily. Obviously, he may have family there, but
because I remember Rhea Ripley had a work visa, and it's not.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it's not. It's not like it's like a thing on them. It's just sometimes issues happen where like things don't get approved in time.
Yeah, it's all about
dates and stuff like that. So I was wondering, like, because like for example, like some like how work visa works is like the WWE says like this person's employed by me, so they could be here to work. Whereas like now that he's not employed by the WWE, maybe he's like, I need to find a new place to sign on my work visa, or I have to go back home.
That's
like
what
I don't know. Like
I think that's the boat that the Iconics is in right now too.
Oh, that's true. I mean, because I know their clauses up too, and they've been teasing dates.
That's an interesting thing because now that I think about it, Peyton Royce is married to Sean Spears, but Sean Spears is Canadian. He's not American either.
Yeah.
so,
But no, he's it's
so
weird.
He might be a resident now.
I think he is because he's since he was in NXT before he was doing he was Ty Dillinger before the 10 thing, he was always billed from Niagara Falls. So
Niagara Falls is in Canada.
Yeah, they always say it's like the New York Canada border, but like when they want to say they're from Canada without saying they're from Canada,
right?
And they're in America without saying New York, they just say Niagara Falls for some. Because I know someone else used to do that too. They used to Bobby Roode. He used to go by Niagara Falls and TNA too. But that is an interesting question because I know that I think they're going by the inspiration now. Is what that's what their whole thing is. A lot obviously it's not catching for a lot of people, but. I'm like, can't y'all just do iconic with one eye? Like, or just change the two eyes on the last eye for Knicks, like Iconics. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
I'm sure there's a spin on the word that you can figure that out, or like the iconic.
Just don't put Iconics because some people might come after you. They're like, oh, you doubled up on the wrong letter. But this is another interesting note here in terms of people that may pop up. I saw this earlier, not sure what it was, because EC3, he's been always ever since leaving and doing the Ring of Honor thing, and he's actually obviously not exclusive to the Ring of Honor. He's been working with a lot of other people. He's been doing the whole control your narrative thing, and I recently saw that Braun Strowman or Adam Scherr, formerly Braun Strowman, whatever he's going to be called now. Well, actually, I do have an idea what he's going to be called now. I guess they're doing some cinematic match together that they're producing. So this is like Braun's first thing that he's doing. He's going up against EC3. I believe they're friends in real life. So they probably put some money together for this to happen. But I guess he's going by the name Titan, which I'm not mad at.
I think it's a very solid indie name, actually.
I was gonna say ain't nothing WWE would have came with. They probably would have called him like Terry the Titan or Titan Warrior. So you know what I mean? They would have had
something
to say
extra.
The Titan of Tulsa or some stupid. You know what I mean? The Tundran Titan.
The Thunder Titan.
It got to be the alliteration all the time. But I thought that was interesting. So don't want to count him out to just yet. Maybe we might even get some cameos in that. That's usually where some people might pop up. I know people looking for work, but before I get to the nitty gritty, which to me obviously would be the all-out predictions and a little bit of some stuff I want to bring up with CM Punk, as well as Tony Khan. He had a media call with some interesting details as well. I do want to give time and the floor to Mac Lowe. He don't know it yet. I just put him on the spot, but I think we got to give our flowers to Bianca Belair for that incredible promo on SmackDown. I don't know if you've seen it, but man, she got herself over, didn't she?
Yeah,
and made Becky look like how she was supposed to look. Like it was great. It was great.
And the one thing that stood out to me is when Becky is back, so she has the return vibes right now. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, everybody was still kind of hyped on her.
And she also is Becky, so she's gonna get cheers. But usually what happens is when somebody steps into this space, whoever they're going against, automatically we're like, get out of here, right?
Yeah, we're just discounting them all the just
but
we don't care what you saying. It's Becky all day. Yeah.
The fact that Becky came back, did her little spiel, and said what she said about, oh, don't be mad at me because she wasn't ready. And then Bianca comes out and the crowd goes crazy again. I was like, oh, so they still with her. And there's moments in there if you look where Bianca is like understanding, like because I think I bet if footage comes out later around this time, she might speak to like, oh, well, Becky came back. I was wondering if the people were still going to stick with it. You know what I mean? But they still. People are still, excited to see it.
No, and you know what? I think it's a testament too, because she don't have a title, but they're still cheering for her. You know what I mean? Before you feel like people are kind of programmed to cheer for the champion, especially if they're a face. But dude, she handled that promo really well. I don't know if she wrote that, if someone wrote that for her, but the way she delivered it from talking about, I knew she was gonna get some points for, I'm not gonna build myself up by breaking another woman down, which is something you hear a lot of, like my women friends say that a lot, about they work friends because they drive them crazy and shit. They're secret enemies, but they frenemies and all that shit. But it's identifiable. People can relate to it. It was, you know what I mean? It was one of those things where like, how can you hate on that? You know what I mean? So it was good, especially in the frame of like, look at these two powerful women, these two personalities. They both put on for themselves in different ways, different cultures, and stay true to themselves and really got themselves over. So I thought it was a really good moment. I made sure I made time to, like I said, put some shine on her for it because, it was good. I thought it was great. Definitely one of my favorite moments of SmackDown. SmackDown I thought was just okay this week. It was all right. I did like the Baron Corbin stuff. I don't know. I was like, Logan Paul had to come down and get his receipt, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, it was all right. I did see how they made the Street Profits a little. They making them a little bit more. I don't want to say intimidating, but people are certainly running from them a little bit more often.
A little more street with your profit.
Yeah, there we go. You added a little bit more street.
Going back to the Logan Paul thing, I was like, okay, didn't Kevin Owens, Stone Cold Stun, Logan Paul at WrestleMania? And then I had to sit there and think, like, wait, was that Jake then? Like, I was trying to figure that out.
I was thinking the same thing, and I was like, wait, is this the dude that just beat Tyrone? Because I always get them
are we
mixed
referencing
up, bro.
this?
Like I always get them mixed up, and then when I see, I'm like, oh no, that's the younger one. And then when he said, oh yeah, my brother just beat Tyrone Woodley, yeah, that happened. I was like, hey, I ain't mad at it. You know what I mean? Because it's a fact. Like
it's good. It's good heat. It's good heat too.
It's good heat. Yeah, it wasn't like he was. It wasn't like he came to promote the fight. It's already happened. So you know what I mean. That's why
I think we're setting up for Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul at Mania.
Which I'm trying to figure that out because it's just like it's weird how he's making these sporadic appearances. But man, I hate if that's what Kevin Owens has. That's all he's looking like on paper to them now at the around these days. Like,
but I think if I could be devil's advocate,
I was just gonna say I'd argue outside the beginning stuff that Roman did with Jimmy Uso when he first was champ. Kevin Owens with the series of matches they had was just as good as well, and that was probably the closest he'll get, which is crazy. But yeah, go ahead, man.
I think Kevin Owens is one of the best workers in the company, and I think this would give him, because I think a lot of people are really into like what the Paul brothers do and who they're fighting next.
Yeah, that's true.
I do think this gives Kevin Owens some of that public spotlight.
Oh, to kind of crossover
because
that's true.
The regular WWE fan will probably be like, oh, I know who Kevin Owens is. He was once Universal Champion on Raw. Or that was Universal. Yeah, that was Universal.
Oh, that's the guy that beat John Cena. Yeah.
But like, I don't think a lot of people who are outside the circle know who Kevin Owens is and what he does and what he brings to the table. And he doesn't look like the quote unquote like normal wrestler too. Just
a guy that wants to beat the shit out of somebody. Yeah.
Right. I'm beginning to sound like Vince.
Got a dad bod.
So I feel
hide it with a shirt.
So I feel like
make him wear a man's pants.
By the way, did you see that that Vince McMahon t-shirt? I don't know if I told you guys about that. That was for sale at SummerSlam. It was $100. It was just a shirt with Vince McMahon that said Las Vegas on it, and he had like his hands out. Like it was like a poker table, like you know what I mean? I was like, someone could have drew this. I know someone drew this already. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just have to say, it was like, who's paying $100 on top of the price of admission? Like, come on, bro. But yeah, you know what? There could be also that small patch of people of that, you know, follow MMA, follow boxing, and even followed indie wrestling at a point where they knew all about who Kevin Steen was, and they're like, wait, hold up, Kevin Steen about to fucking knock Logan Paul the fuck out? Sign me up. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
So
man.
it is interesting, but yeah,
wrestling is such a
fickle.
It's such a niche. Like if you, it's kind of like either you know you don't. I was watching that Sasha Banks on Hot Ones this past week.
Yeah.
And in the comments, people were like, "Who is this? I've never seen her before. Oh, she's hot. I don't know who that is." And I'm like, "Damn! Like if you're not in it, and it doesn't matter. She's like literally the biggest female right now." But
then people may be like, "Hey, ain't that shit from Mandalorian?" Like,
no, some people. One person did say that. I
figured as much. Yeah. I was like, they're like, "Oh, that's the Mandalorian." It's like, nah.
So I don't know how. Like if I wasn't. Like if there's somebody I know that's gonna make an appearance on a TV show, like mid-season, oh, this person's gonna be like Kendrick Lamar was on what was it, Power or something like that?
Yeah. Money.
And I never watched Power.
Yeah. But when you see it, you're like,
when I saw Kendrick, well, that's the thing. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Hey, that's a good look.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool. So I don't know. It didn't make me watch Power at all. But
see, I'd watch it for that and then not watch it again. That's
exactly.
Like Becky Lynch was on the episode of Billions, right? And I don't even watch Billions, but a homie showed me just the part she was on. And I was like, oh, that's what's up. I'm like, I ain't gonna. This was cool. But I probably won't people that after.
I just don't like when someone makes like WWE wrestlers try to be more badass on shows. Like in my opinion, it's just like if they're going on there to act, just let them 90s act. Thing to do too, right? Like we got to keep
the intimidation factor intact. Like,
oh, we got to bring a tough person in. I'm like, you guys know these guys do scripted wrestling, right?
On top of that, it's like their character already kind of speaks the toughness factor, and
right?
They don't need to be like.
That's the tone they have.
Like, especially when you got like someone like Batista dressed up like Drax, he ain't got to say nothing else. Like, you see how soft he talks? He speaks softly and still be mean and shit. He ain't even a serious ass character, but when it's shit cracking, you know what I mean? Oh, Drax got. I ain't got to worry about Drax. He gonna get it popping. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but man, it's I did want to ask y'all. Do you think that hey, I know. She said it's my birthday all month. That's what it is. She said it's Virgo season.
Virgo season.
Would y'all think about the ringtones of Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman? I don't know if y'all saw he had like this interview with Kayla, and every time he was talking, he kept getting interrupted. All of a sudden, he'd hear like Brock Lesnar's theme song playing off his phone, and he'd ignore it, and then he finally answered it. Do you think it was too much? I don't know if you. I like what they're trying to do, but obviously, you know, because I didn't realize the Madison Square Garden show is next week, which is interesting. But
I know where it's going, and they keep getting at it. They keep posting stuff on social media with like having this, you know, post over their shoulder.
Oh yeah.
So like that's what they're trying to get at. Is that Roman is not at all worried about Paul jumping ship. Remember, he was like, it's a family celebration. So he was trying to give him the belt. He was like, your family.
Now get in there and open these damn doors. Like, even the shit, he was like, so what, I'm opening my own doors now? I'm like, yo, this is hilarious. I don't know why.
Yeah, so I think one of two things they're going to do there is either Roman is like, Paul is with us now. I'm not worried about Brock. And Paul is acting super scared, and then Brock's gonna come back and Paul's gonna jump ship and go back to Brock. And Paul is playing a game, or Roman is playing a game. He knows.
I feel like Roman may be playing a game, like
he's trying to act like he's unbothered, but he's gonna be
I was gonna say he's been a little bit too cool lately, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's usually very paranoid.
Yeah, like he's really he got the triangle, the whole.
Yeah,
he usually got that going. Then he's like,
anytime you talk to somebody without looking at him, and he's sitting like this, you got too much going on up here.
And he ain't been doing the jaw clench as much either. He usually be like.
But if they're also trying to get Brock to be a babyface,
just brooding, yeah.
If they're trying to get Brock to be a babyface, what's going to happen is there's going to be like a moment where the family turns on Paul Heyman and push him to the corner. Paul Heyman's scared in the corner. And either you could do it where Paul Heyman is like really, really scared, and then all of a sudden he just stops and he starts smiling, and then all of a sudden you're, and then that's my Brock Lesnar.
He's done something like that before, where I think something like that has happened before, where Triple H was about to fuck him up, right?
Yeah,
and
something
then,
like
his
that.
Music hit. I mean,
or it's just Paul Heyman's scared of his mind because he doesn't know that Brock Lesnar is going to come back.
I'm just an advocate. Yeah,
but there's so many ways you could do this too, where like maybe even Paul Heyman's like gets kicked out of the family. He goes to Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar's like, I don't want anything to do with you either.
He's like, just sad boy Paul.
Sad boy Paul. Because what's going to make
all
this
of a sudden happy Corbin? Why are you so sad? There's so much to be happy about. Wagyu beef. Come on, Paul. Or that's when you get Big E, who I love Big E this week. He's dressing up like a janitor. He's just been like laughing hysterically with the fucking Money in the Bank briefcase. I could see him fucking with the sad Paul. That'd be actually pretty.
But what's going to make this feud really good is Paul Heyman. It's not going to be what Roman does. It's not going to be what Brock does. It's going to be Paul Heyman. And I trust that at least Paul Heyman has a plan for how they're going to pull this off.
Bro, how cold is it going to be? I just thought about it. You got Brock Lesnar. What if Big E starts interjecting and then you get these 3 big meaty men?
No, Vince, don't.
He's like,
don't tell Vince.
Slap some meat skins. Yeah, he's all about that. He's like, I want to see the sweat fly. Like, he's like all about that. Like, if he could, he'd go back to like ancient Greece and be part of that gladiator Coliseum.
That's what he thinks this is.
Like, he thinks it's like that actual Greco.
People died back then.
Yeah, and you know what I mean. Like, he just. Oh, but you know what? I did want to get into a little bit of AEW news because Tony Khan did have a little bit of a media scrum, as he always does right before All Out. But I thought this was interesting pertaining to us. You know, we've been kind of waiting for, what the fuck's up with these California shows, so to speak. But he had said that he is planning to expand into doing more international work on the West Coast of USA and as well, I believe, with more with Japan, with AEW in the next year. It says he doesn't want to put a date on it, but Craven Cottage, which is a infamous venue in, I believe, England, is a place he wants to make a home for AEW as well. Also, comments saying that not every signing has to be CM Punk or Jon Moxley. Other signings can stack your roster and add to the quality of the show overall. You build from the top and the bottom and grow. So that was kind of, I think, because he's been alluding to, I think, 4 more names coming in. I'm like, so Bray Wyatt, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, Paige. No, I don't know if you heard about that Paige business. I heard her contract is close.
Yeah.
And she's been saying that she been feeling good. Like her neck's been feeling great.
That she been hitting weights.
They did ask her if she was cleared by WWE who she'd face. She said Sasha Banks because it's just written in like because dude, remember Sasha was getting all that hate when she first injured her.
Well,
I get it, but
that was a freaky one though, because I don't even think it was nothing.
Yeah, a lot of people thought it like she did. It was personal. I'm like, what? Like, come on, bro.
It was like a little kick, like to the back, like.
Yeah, it was just. To me, I felt like it was just as a freak of an accident as like Draws and D'Lo Brown with the powerbomb back in the day, or it the powerbomb or the, I don't remember. But, anyways, I did want to ask y'all one thing before we get into predictions. Did CM Punk give away the go to sleep too soon? I say yes.
You think so? Like you wanted him to do it in the match?
I wanted him to hit it in the match because I felt like he still could have teased it. They could have countered, and then he could have hit like at least the Anaconda Vice. You know what I mean? He could have done some. He didn't need to actually hit the GTS.
I get that.
Still got it, but I feel like he could have saved it a little bit.
I don't really care, to be honest with you. I do like that we saw him at least get physical before the pay-per-view, because it would have been nice if they built it up where he didn't get physical at all. I wouldn't mind that, but it was nice knowing like, oh, it looks like he's still comfortable in the ring. So the match won't go to total shit.
That's true. It won't totally melt down.
Yeah. Like, and Darby's one of those guys who's just gonna take a bunch of bumps anyways. But
that's pretty like 90% of what he does.
Man, when he ran across the ring and went through the ropes and hit Everard,
Everrise 2.0. Get it right.
First of all, Everrise.
You want to take a swing at me?
Doesn't
you want
even
to taste? No, those. I mean, I give him credit because no one else could just come in the middle of a war and be like, "Hey, we weren't used over here like that, but we want to take over every week on Dynamite." And Paris would have got like they just kind of slip right in, bro. Pause. Like they in the mix of things. They went from taking always looking up at the lights to now looking up the lights and dealing with Sting. Like
right.
In 30 days. It's just crazy. But yeah, I'm with you. I didn't mind him getting physical. I felt like, I guess that's just my Vince McMahon, trained thinking of why give away for free what we can make money on, like So
right.
I feel like that was like one of the bigger points of freaking.
Oh my God, a bird!
All out. What'd you say?
A bird did the window spot.
Oh, I hope. I mean,
well,
that means you got some clean ass windows.
He was trying to get into your AC, dude. It's fucking hot out there.
Yo, too.
Tell
me about it.
So I'm gonna run down the matchups, man. We got the 5-on-5 that I don't think anyone really cares for, but
are we predicting that one or no?
I will. I don't mind. I mean, I already know who I'm going for, but it's Jurassic Express along with I guess the new best friend, but minus Trent. I don't know if I can know. Chuck Taylor. Wheeler Yuta, who I don't know why he's on TV because he's just whatever to me. Sorry. And Orange Cassidy versus the Hardy Family Office. I'm gonna go the family Hardy Family Office on this one just because they're a real team. So that's just where I'm at. What do y'all think?
First of all, the Family Hardy Office, or the Hardy Family Office, or whatever it's called, is the perfect example of that. Not everyone in AEW needs a faction.
Correct.
What are you talking about? I mean, it's just weird. I'm like, why do you have a stable with 2 tag teams?
Right? Like, I don't know.
Almost 3 because the Blade, listening to the Butcher, ain't back yet. So it's like he got a Private Party. He got 8 fucking Hybrid 2 and the Blade and the Butcher. I don't know what he's doing.
So are we predicting this one with confidence points, or are we?
No, we could just. I mean, this is part of the buy-in. We could just make this a 1-pointer, if anything.
All right, 1 point. I'm gonna pick the best friends for 1 point.
Mr. Lowe.
I'm gonna go with the Jurassic Express.
All right, so best friend 1. All right.
I guess we'll go by importance. Paul White versus
Oh, did you pick Hardy Family Office?
Yeah, I did.
All right.
Versus
Family
QT
Office.
Marshall. The Gun Club turned heel, so who knows what's gonna happen, guys. I'm gonna go Paul White only because I feel like the Gun Club might come out and he's gonna be like, "Oh, I got reinforcements too," and then all of a sudden Mark Henry is like, "I got more left in the tank."
Well, it's the Paul White.
And he comes out with he got the pink suit on again. What you thought it was?
I don't see you bringing.
Somebody about to get their head split. Yeah,
I don't see you bringing Black and White show, old show.
I think they tagged before once. They were called like what, the world's largest tag team or something like that.
Yeah, something
like
more
real. Some that was okay. That works. Y'all both
something we didn't care about.
All right. So out of 9 points, what do you give?
Someone, by the way, they said, "Oh man, long term storybook telling." Y'all remember Shogun or the Gun Show? I was like, that's why he turned on him. I was like, oh y'all, I can't with y'all, man. This is hilarious.
I'm gonna go with Paul White for 7 points.
Oh, I forgot my confidence points. Yeah, how many is it? 7 matches total?
It's out of 9 if we're not counting the pre-show.
Okay, and then Paul White for 7. I'm gonna do Paul White for 3. And I'm sorry, what'd you say, Mac?
They're not gonna bring his big ass back to lose. So we get 6 on Big White.
Big White.
Big White.
Oh, you mean Big Show as JR kept calling him? I was like, come on, man. You're fucking it up. What are you doing, man? fuck, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Oh, there's was it Miro versus Eddie Kingston for the TNT Championship. I'm gonna go 5 points for Miro. I feel like maybe we'll see Lana or CJ, whatever she wants to be called. Who gives a fuck? Apparently she did a movie with she did a Netflix movie with Bruce Willis though, so
nice.
Things are looking up.
I'm gonna go 4 points for Miro.
Damn, I was gonna do that. Now I got to chase the win. I'm gonna go.
I gotta chase the win.
You chase the win somewhere else on this card. I don't think you need to do it here.
This isn't the one. Yeah.
No, you know what? Eddie came out there with that tight ass.
I want Eddie to win. I thought Eddie was great, right? But I think this is just to help Miro look good right now.
That DMX jersey, that was like one size up.
He's like, hey, it's good up here, but when it get down here, it's a little tight, dead ass. He's like, well, maybe it's you, Eddie. Maybe it's the way your body's shaped.
All right, yeah, give me 4.
4 on who? Can't hear you on the mic. Something's going on with the mic.
What? You
said now? Yeah, I can hear you. You said 4 on who?
Oh, Miro.
Okay.
All right, cool. We're just making sure. All right. Hey, don't do it.
No, stop. Are you sure? We asked you twice. Let me see. We got the Casino Battle Royale. There are a lot of people in here, so I don't know if I could. Yeah, I have the list here. I'm gonna go Jay Cargill just to get that out the way. I'll do that I'll do 2 points for that one.
So Jade for 2.
Yeah. But yeah, let me, if you guys want to know who's all in it. It's actually pretty good crap of people.
I'm gonna go.
Some are not gonna win it, but you know what I mean.
Shit. All right, there's 2 people I have in mind because I don't feel like the winner of this is going to like have a pay-per-view match, so I don't think it really matters who wins, right? So you don't want someone really big to win and then lose. I'm gonna go, I think, with Thunder Rosa though.
Thunder Rosa, okay.
Because I was gonna say Tay Conti would be a really good just TV match, but I think Rosa would be a really good, like, have a match, lose to Britt, and then come back to it again later on.
How many points?
Fuck 2, I guess. Because I'm gonna save my 1 point for a different match.
Yeah, I figured.
See, I was thinking Tay Conti just because
they've been high on her lately.
Yeah, Jay and Tay is a thing. Hey, Jay. But I think they want to ride that wave a little bit. Like you said, it doesn't have to be a championship situation. They could just be
My bad. You said you're going 3 for who?
Tay.
You're going 3 points for Tay?
Yep.
All right.
Say, my bad. I told you said 3 points for who?
For Tay Conti?
3 points for Tay Conti.
Okay, because all I heard was Tay, but all I heard was the A. I'm like, you say Tay or Anna J? I was like, I know he said something. I just couldn't hear
that. This is probably where Mac's gonna win right here. Because I think Tay Conti's the perfect pick.
He's like, I said Anna J, but I changed it. And that was for 3 points, right?
Yes, sir.
We have John Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima. I'm torn on this because I feel like John Moxley is gonna win, but then I'm also thinking he may lose because like we may get the appearance of somebody from New Japan or something. You know what I mean? Like we may do something, but at the same time, if they're gonna be back in Cincinnati that Wednesday after, I think, fuck it, I'm gonna go Moxley. We'll do Moxley for. We'll do Moxley for 1 point.
Okay, 1 point. I'm gonna do Moxley for 6.
Get Moxley 5.
Moxley for 5. All right.
All right.
I'm trying to think what if I'm going. Oh yeah, I think this is the last couple. Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. Cage match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. I'm gonna go with the Lucha Bros.
Fuck.
I'm gonna give them. Let me see what we have left. CM Punk, Kenny Omega, and Christian, and then what? Is that it? Just those two? Britt Baker and
Chris Jericho, MJF.
Oh yeah, so we have 4 more. Okay. I'm gonna give the Lucha Bros I'll give them a 6.
All right, I'm gonna do Lucha Bros with 3. I thought I was gonna be the only one to do Lucha Bros, but
I think the Bucks has been, they've had it for so long. You gotta switch it up.
You said Lucha Bros for 3?
Yeah.
All right.
Let me get the Lucha Bros. I got a 7. Let me get a 7 on the Lucha Bros.
Oh.
All right. Fuck. So, all right.
Going for the win.
I think you would retain, wouldn't you? Aren't you the current champ?
Yeah, if we all tie, he would retain.
I gotta be aggressive.
But we all chose something different for that. So, but if none of our selections win that battle royal, then yeah, then he retains.
We had Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander. I'm gonna go Britt Baker. 4 points on Britt Baker.
All right, we'll go Baker for 8.
Britt Baker.
She's the one for it right now, right? I feel like she's the one for them right now. Like,
yeah, she. I don't see her losing until it's like Thunder Rosa or something like that.
Yeah. Let me get a 9 on Britt.
He said that's a Roman Reigns match. MJF versus Jericho.
I have Chris Jericho for 1.
I got Jericho for. I already put my 1 down. So I guess I'll do Jericho for 2.
All right.
For the win. I'm going for the win.
The only other matches.
We still have the CM Punk versus Darby, and then Kenny Omega versus Christian. 1 on Jericho.
Was that what? I didn't hear that. Is that?
I think he said 1 on Jericho.
1 on Jericho. What's going on mic right now?
We're not sure.
It's so hot outside. It's frying.
Yeah, it's just frying your cores, dude.
It's like, fuck you. And
it might be like an electrical thing where it's like maybe it's not connected or something. Not all the way. I mean, that sometimes happens to me.
He said, did you check if it's plugged in politely?
So Jericho for 1.
Oh yeah, Jericho for 1.
All right.
So CM Punk versus Darby Allin. I'm gonna do CM Punk 8 points.
I'm gonna do Punk 5 points.
What I got left? 6.
You have your number 2 available and your number 8 available.
Yes. Let's put the 8
on Punk.
Yep.
CM Punk 8 points. He's trying to get neck and neck with me. I don't like that.
and then Kenny Omega, I'm gonna put 9 points.
I put Kenny for 9 points as well.
Put the 2 on. Put the 2 on Kenny.
2 on Christian. Is that what you said?
2 on Kenny.
So 2 on Cage. Cool.
So it comes down to the battle royal, huh?
I think so. I mean,
dude, do you want to put a point? Okay, how about we do this?
Well, see, the thing is, there's 20 announced names, and they always have the Joker. So I'm wondering who that Joker is going to be too. That's
all right. Do we want to each make a prediction? No, because I feel like that would be a shitty way to lose a title or win a title if we did it based on a prediction and we all can't choose the same person.
Yeah, that's kind of hard.
Because I was gonna say, like, we all pick a person who's gonna debut or at least show up, and whoever gets it right.
1, 2, 3, Ruby.
I was gonna say, I was like, the only one that got anything popping is Ruby, or I guess the Iconics, but they could do a 2-for-1 on the 21 spot.
Or I meant the whole night, so it could be Daniel Bryan, or it could be...
I mean, everyone thinks Daniel Bryan's gonna debut. I don't know why. I think Lana might show up just because her 90 days is up, and he's been referencing his wife in the last couple. I mean, I'm not saying I want to see her, y'all. That's not what I said. Don't be twisting my words. I just said there's a shot that she might show up, but that's all I got. I think we good here. I think we're gonna have to let the point speak for himself, man. But official all-out predictions locked in. Gonna have to see how this pans out and who's gonna either walk out still $2 prediction champion, or we'll have a new $2 prediction champion, man. But all I gotta say is thank you all for always checking us out, checking out the show, and supporting what we do, man. Again, we are available on SoundCloud as well as YouTube every week, man. We try to drop it at least every Sunday. I'll give y'all a little rundown and the hot takes and all that as far as how we do as per usual. Again, man, feel free to follow us. That is Flow Wrestling Show on Instagram and Flow Wrestling Pod on Twitter as well. Again, man, I'm trying to get the iTunes popping, and when we can, don't forget to enjoy, subscribe, share, man. I'm digging, the listens we're getting on SoundCloud right now. Trying to give it to you audio-wise as well as video-wise, man. And again, trying to put out more content. We just dropped the Rampage review as well just this morning, so be sure to check this out. Check out the review, and as well check out any of our past videos, man. Again, we're going to keep it real consistent for y'all. Be sure to follow myself, Quincy Jones Go, as well as Mac Lowe, as well as Brian Andrew _. And don't forget to check out the LA Clips Forum podcast coming soon. They have a kick-ass theme song. I love it, and I think Drake and Kawhi love it as well. You gotta, if you know, you know. That's all I got to say. But till next time, it's been the Flow Show for the love of wrestling. All out. We out. Peace.